Let's talk about that feeling. That incredibly frustrating feeling of being stuck. You know the one, where it feels like you're just spinning your wheels, trying so hard, but getting absolutely nowhere. Well, today we're going to dig into the hidden psychology that's really holding you back. And, more importantly, we're going to talk about how to finally break free.
I mean, you set the goals, right? You make these super detailed plans. You try to pump yourself up with all the motivation you can find, and yet nothing really seems to change. It's the same old patterns, the same habits, and, well, the same results. If that sounds painfully familiar, then you are in exactly the right place.
And this is probably the most important thing you need to hear right from the get-go. This is not a failure of your character. It's not about a lack of willpower or discipline. What's really happening is a deep, instinctive, and kind of sneaky process going on inside your brain.
So, to really understand why you're stuck, we have to look past all the usual advice about just trying harder. We need to go straight to the source, your brain's powerful and often hidden survival programming. Now, here's the big twist in all of this. That feeling of being held back, of maybe even sabotaging your own progress, that's not a sign that you're weak. It's actually a sign that your brain is doing its job. It's trying to protect you. The only problem is, it's protecting you from the wrong thing. The key concept here is something called psychological homeostasis. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a thermostat for your identity. You know, a thermostat doesn't care if a room is hot or cold. It only cares about keeping the temperature at whatever it's set to. Well, your brain does the exact same thing with your sense of who you are. And this is where the conflict comes in. Your current self, even if it's anxious or procrastinating or unfulfilled, is familiar. It's predictable. And to your brain, predictable equals safe. But the new self you're trying to become, well, that represents growth, sure, but it's also unfamiliar and unpredictable. So every single time you try to step into that new identity, your brain's internal thermostat just freaks out and yanks you right back to what it knows. So how does this internal thermostat actually show up in your daily life? Well, it often looks a lot like a cycle of self-sabotage, where our brains seem to weirdly prefer the very pain we're trying so hard to escape. This really gets to the heart of the paradox. Your comfort zone isn't actually about comfort at all. It's about predictability. It's wild, but your brain would literally rather deal with a pain it understands than venture into the unknown territory of positive change. And this explains so much, doesn't it? It's why you'll put off starting that project you're actually super excited about. Or why you suddenly get this urge to run and hide when that great opportunity you've been dreaming of finally shows up. It's your brain slamming on the emergency brake, trying to keep you in that safe, predictable zone. Now, this whole process gets reinforced by a few powerful, invisible barriers. First, you've got emotional conditioning. Like, if you grew up around chaos, a peaceful, stable life can actually feel really unsafe, and your brain might unconsciously seek out drama. Then there's cognitive dissonance. If deep down you believe I'm not good enough, then any real success creates this painful internal conflict that makes you want to dismiss it. And finally, there's learned helplessness. If you've tried and failed in the past, your brain can literally learn that trying is pointless, so it stops you before you even start. These aren't conscious choices, they are deep automatic reflexes. Okay, so we get it. The mechanism is powerful, it's protective, but the good news is it is not permanent. So let's shift gears and get into the practical side of things, a real strategy for finally breaking free. Here's the most crucial point. You can't fight this system with brute force. Just trying to have more motivation or making some huge sudden leap into a new identity is only going to set off your brain's alarm bells. The real key is something called micro-exposure, making tiny, consistent shifts that are too small to overwhelm your nervous system. So here's the 4-step game plan. First, you make the new familiar, but in tiny, tiny doses. If you want to be a writer, don't try to write a novel. Just write one single good sentence today. Second, you rewire your self-concept with proof. You need to show your brain evidence. Keep a little list of those small wins, like that one good sentence. Third, you have to interrupt the old pattern. The moment you feel that pull to retreat or procrastinate, just pause and label it. Say to yourself, there it is. That's just my brain trying to keep me safe. And finally, number 4, build tolerance for discomfort. Reframe that weird, anxious feeling. It's not a warning sign that you're doing something wrong. It's the feeling of growth itself. And when you start using this approach, you fundamentally change the relationship you have with yourself and with the whole process of change. This, right here, is where the real breakthrough happens. You basically shift from a state of conflict to one of collaboration. Instead of fighting this constant battle against your own mind, you start working with it, gently and patiently, creating a new, higher set point for your internal thermostat.
Look, your brain isn't your enemy. It's not malicious or trying to ruin your life. It's an incredibly powerful system that's simply running on outdated software. Instructions it probably learned years and years ago to keep you safe back then. And that's your new role. You get to be the programmer. Through these small, consistent actions, you're the one who provides the new data, the new evidence, and the new experiences that will slowly but surely write a brand new set of instructions for your brain to follow.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Now that you understand this whole mechanism, what's one area of your life where you feel stuck right now? Seriously, just thinking about it through this new lens might be the first real step to finally getting things moving again.